Okay, episode 27. Fucking hell. Another really, really intense episode. I don't really know where to start, because... Yeah, I don't know, man. Commander McGath and Keith Shardis. Like two peas in a pod, man. It's like just that little snippet that they were together. It just felt like they were a match made in heaven, you know? Like just two peas in a pod. They like become like best buds, and then but it was set up for them to make the sacrifice play. I mean, realistically, Shardis didn't even have to go along with that either, you know. But like you say, he was just looking for a good time to die, a good place, a good reason for doing so. Damn, man. Just fucking so happened, didn't it? I mean, did they really have to? Was there not like a thunder spear somewhere where they could have used it to just sink that ship? You know what I mean? To not fucking go out. But I don't know. Maybe they were done with it. Maybe it's another sort of callback kind of thing. Like, because like if you recall back to when Erwin died, like he was ready to go. You know, like he'd made peace with it. And maybe it's just the same with McGath and Shardis, you know. But yeah, man, Keith Shardis has been there since since episode 3. I mean, he was out of it for a long time, but you know, to come back and be special, you know, because I remember that whole sequence where, you know, when we flash back to you know, when Grisha, like when he found Grisha outside the walls, and he basically proclaimed that Grisha was special and that he himself wasn't, but by essentially destroying the reinforcements, he allowed for the rescue squad to go away and save the world. In which case, if he hadn't done that, then it wouldn't have happened. So, you know, he had his part to play in saving the world, and for that he ends up being special. So yeah, they went out like badasses. So I can't, you know, I can't knock it too much. I loved at the very beginning as well. It was like a cool transition where, you know, a lot of the time in like anime, you'll have like the first, like sort of like the last episode, like the sort of like the last minute or so, you'll sort of recap in the start of the next episode. But I thought it was an awesome sort of transition where like it obviously went into like kind of like slow motion, showing what obviously Connie had done and killed Samuel and Daz, and it showed him, and then in the background, like out of like a sort of like, you know, motion blur, or like, you know, just depth of field to watch, you know, the female Titan come across. I just thought it was a really, really cool transition. And there was a lot of cool things in this fucking episode, man. Like that whole sequence where it was just like, you know, you had Annie and Reiner just taking thunder spear after thunder spear after thunder spear. You know, I can't believe they actually survived like how many they took, because they took a lot. I didn't even know that Annie would be able to take that amount, to be honest, you know, because she doesn't have any armor whatsoever. All it would have took really is one thunder spear to the back of the nape and she would have died. I mean, but then you've got to assume that obviously Reiner took the brunt of all of that, you know. But obviously watching that unfold, like giving their all to just stop it from hitting the ship, was a really, really cool scene. And then obviously Falco sort of like watching on, sort of being like, I can't just sit here helpless. And actually, up until that point where he was like, I'm going to turn, and I need to, you know, become the Jaw Titan and help here, I'd actually forgotten that he was the Jaw Titan. So, you know, seeing him actually like go for it was really cool. And also, he has a sick look to him. I really like his look. It's almost like, I don't know, because I guess sort of Galliard's look was, I mean, this is a thing, like when you look back at like Emiya's was very just kind of ordinary. Like she had the sharp teeth and whatever, and she kind of looked like a little bit of a gremlin. But like, you know, when you look at the likes of Galliard, who has like this almost like facial mask that comes with it, and now you've got Falco, who also has a facial mask, but it kind of comes out like almost like a bird. And I've noticed that like with his sort of like, you know, his limbs are all bird-like. which I really like. It's like a cool aesthetic that I really like. I don't. It's in. This is the thing though with it is that's interesting. I didn't really get a good look at the way that he bites because I'm not sure. Can he control the mask thing? The outside? Because he's got his actual sort of like more normal mouth like inside. But I don't know. Maybe it's more like a xenomorph kind of thing. Well, not that way because then his normal mouth ought to protrude out. But you know what I mean? Like two mouths that are actually both useful. I don't know, but it is a very, very cool look, and I really like it. And then you had, Mikasa with the kill of the series. I mean, that was overkill. Did you have to do that? I mean, dude, I don't care either way because it was fucking unbelievable. But like, there is no way. Like, I'm racking my brain for like other kills. That one was insane. Like, I thought as simple as the one that took place like about 5 episodes ago, where she like kind of like reverse thrusts back and like does like the slash, you know, whilst coming back. I thought that was cool, but like the simplicity of that compared to what I just witnessed is nuts. She took a guy's head off, wrapped his body around with like the maneuver gear wire in a way to throw his body against another Jaegerist, then skewered them, and while dashing away basically taught the wire of the Thunder Spear to pull the pin on it to blow them the hell. I can't. And then just shower in their blood. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so badass. But was it necessary? Like, you don't think that Mikasa would want to do that? Like, that's like on the verge of desecrating a corpse. Like, I know that she's obviously just killing these people, but I mean, I thought the start of that move of taking the guy's head off was brutal for her to do it against people that she knows or might know, whatever. But to take the guy's head off and then blow them up like into pieces, that was brutal. Fucking unbelievable though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a challenge for you guys out there. Like, find me a better kill than that one, because I can't I can't find one. You know, that was insane. What else? Yeah, so they're on their way to a city, a coastal sort of city called Odaha, where there is a hangar with proper equipment to basically, you know, to service the the flying airship, and therefore they can obviously do it away from Paradis, where they're likely to get attacked again, and it's still going to take half a day. And they were basically saying that at that point it's still too late anyway. I mean, the rate at which Eren is kind of moving with all of these Titans is actually shocking to me, because I mean, they're moving quick. What they said, 4 days to wipe out the entire continent, to flatten it all. And if we go by the theory that the Attack on Titan world is basically just our world flipped, like upside down, then you're talking about Africa. The size of Africa. I'm sure it's the biggest continent on the planet. And that only takes 4 days. I mean, that's insane. I mean, I know the idea that obviously he's flattening and killing off everyone else is horrific, right? But I just got an image of my head of him zigzagging. Because he has to, right? I mean, if he wants to flatten the entire world, then he has to go back and forth, right? Like he's mowing a lawn. That's the kind of... That's horrific. Oh god. I'm comparing the extinction of like humankind to mowing a lawn. But if he wants to be, I don't know. If he wants to get everyone, he has to go back and forth. So I don't know, man. It's just it's a funny image underlying a horrific situation. So yeah, 4 days to flatten the entire continent, and it's not going to matter anyway because the whole place the only place that we know outside of Paradis that we've ever seen is Liberia and everything anyway, and by the sounds of it, we're not even going to be able to see it anyway. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna. You see, because when you're looking at it, right, from the perspective that we're looking at it from, I don't see it being a case that we're gonna like all of a sudden go to Erin's point of view. I feel like it probably makes more sense that we actually just stick with the perspective from like our group, you know, which means that we're going to see them in Odahar or whatever, probably feel the rumbling coming when they're trying to service it quick, and then basically get it done just before like Erin passes by or shows up, right? Basically make it right down to the wire. And then from then on, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. And then we had at the very end. Well, actually, first of all, Flock was shot. I never thought he was actually that good with the maneuver gear. I never thought that he was actually that good. I mean, I guess we've never really seen, so we could never judge. You know, I guess you could just make a case for it that like he's so like, you know. He almost like willed it to happen, you know. He was like, I can't let this happen like that much. He just has to go for it, and so he managed to just scrape his way through there, and he almost got it, but he did get shot, and he fell into the ocean. Thing is, from where I saw he got shot, it was round the shoulder area, so he's probably not dead because he never fucking dies. God, he's like another Reiner. He just never dies, ever. And this is the thing, is like I was thinking, like in the last episode I said that, like, if he doesn't die, then maybe it's a case where they kind of like lock him up. But then I guess there's that many Jaegerists, they still hold control over Paradis that you can't really keep, unless you like sort of keep them locked in secret. But I was wondering like that there's no one there to stay behind. And then obviously Shada showed up. I was like, oh yeah, we do have people to stay behind. Maybe they can lock him up now. But then they killed themselves. And then, so like the only people remaining on Paradis that like would perhaps be capable, and even then I don't really think so, is the sort of like the cadets that Shardis was talking to. You know, the ones that like were indebted to him because he actually came and saved his life after they like kicked the shit out of him beforehand. Like, Shadis told him, like, he told them that, like, just hang out and remain, act loyal, and then when the time comes to rebel. So, like, those are the only people, you know, and I don't know if we'll ever see them again, so, I don't know, but, as far as I'm concerned, I just don't think Flock's dead. One shot to around the shoulder area, I don't think it's going to do it, so... And then, yeah, we have, like, Annie at the very end who, you know, basically being told that there's nothing we can do, Liberia's gone. Means that she can't get back to save her father, which was her only reason. And then we see her in a state that we've never actually seen her before, like breaking down, crying. And then, you know, saying to Mikasa, which is interesting, like, you know, like, I'll ask you again, like, would you be able to kill Eren? And at first I was wondering, like, does she mean that in a way of, I mean, she's breaking down with grief, right? But like the idea behind it, the thought, I originally thought that did she mean it like, well, I'm going to kill Eren now, like this is revenge almost, like an underlying sort of meaning to the words possibly. But then she comes out with the whole thing of like, I'm sick of fighting, I'm sick of killing, I'm done with this, like I don't want to kill you, anyone here, not even Eren. So it's like maybe it was a sort of a cry out to them to, like, if you're gonna talk with him, like, stop him from doing what he's doing, like please just stop him from doing it, like don't make me have to fight him. And that's what it is. Like, I always felt it was interesting with Annie, like, that, you know, Annie, I felt kind of had a thing for Eren, so I was always sort of skeptical about how much like Annie would be willing to kill off Erin, you know. And then maybe if it was a case that, you know, he was responsible for her father's death, then maybe that would turn her. But the way that she's kind of broken down there, not wanting to fight, then, you know, maybe it is a case. This is the thing, is like what I've said before, is I just don't think that Erin is willing to give it up, which means they're going to be forced into a situation where they're going to have to kill him for a mark. Like, you know, I've talked about before, like Erin almost becomes a martyr to the world, where the rest of the world see the Paradis lot kill Erin, or fighting off Erin, and therefore in turn, like they decide to have, you know, peace with them, because they see them actually fighting for them and trying to actually rescue them. So I just feel like that's the way that it's almost destined to go. I just don't see a way, like a world in which Erin comes out of this sort of like without being that martyr, you know. It would just feel weird if he just came out of it and went, all right, well, I guess we'll stop. Just doesn't seem that would be the way, you know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, yeah, that is all I've got. So thank you everyone for watching. From where I saw he got shot, it was round the shoulder area, so he's probably not dead, because he never fucking dies. God. He's like another Reiner. He just never dies. Ever. From where I saw he got shot, it was round the shoulder area, so he's probably not dead, because he never fucking dies. God. He's like another Reiner. He just never dies. Ever.